Hey, Rich. Let's watch some movies.
All right. What do you want to watch? More action movies?
How about we watch more horror movies?
How about sci-fi movies? Can't get enough of those.
I know! We can watch all three! It could be like a competition, like a battle.
Our first movie is our action movie, and it is called High Voltage.
Well, that sounds shocking. What? What's it say, Josh?
It says electrifying, supercharged action.
Okay, so they got the whole electricity thing going on.
Yeah, and I don't really believe them at all, but let's...
Is it an action hero with electric powers?
God, I hope so. But let's see, shock treatment for action freaks.
Okay.
So we're really hammering this theme home here. All right, mess with the Asian mafia and you've got big trouble. Mess with Johnny Clay, Antonio Sabato Jr., and you're a dead man.
Okay.
From mind-blowing stunts to earth-shaking explosions, High Voltage delivers a relentless, supercharged showdown of the bad guys versus the badder guys.
Oh, so there's no good guys. They're all
No,
bad.
everybody's addicted here, I guess.
Is this like the Sony Electro movie? Is that, is this the Sinister Six prequel?
I don't know what you're talking about. And that's it. That's all.
That's all.
There's barely anything.
Oh, that's
so we
perfect.
really don't have a lot of information on this movie at all.
How weird.
Yeah.
It's Lady T-Top.
Oh, look. It's the it's the place where you grab to immobilize a lady. You guys know about that, right?
What?
Yeah. When you grab right here on a lady, she can't do anything. You just move her right along.
Oh no!
Yeah. See.
Come on,
Oh,
lady.
come on, lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna do the jumping with two guns thing again, isn't he?
Yeah! Table. Just fly on the table.
Oh no!
Oh.
I'm riding very slowly. He's gonna crawl.
Oh no! The Christmas.
That didn't work out like he expected.
At least we got to see some.
Where's everybody else?
They left.
No one else is helping.
Oh!
You didn't really think I could betray Johnny now, did you?
Oh, Jesus.
Why'd you hit him?
Realism.
Oh, fuck you!
What?
All right.
They lost me and then they won me right back.
Yeah.
So next up in our battle of the genres, we have horror.
Oh!
And for horror, we have Death Spa.
Ooh.
Which is a bad movie on Blu-ray, which I think is a good sign. So we have Death Spa, and there's a picture of a man with an exposed chest and a exercise machine and a skull lady. And it says, "You'll sweat blood."
Awesome.
The new fitness club in town has everything a health nut could ever want. A variety of workout machine, classes taught by friendly and frisky instructors, and a state-of-the-art computer control system for maximum client comfort.
Great.
Unfortunately, it's also possessed by the evil spirit of the owner's dead wife.
That's less than great.
And before long, every dumbbell, leg press, and rowing machine becomes a deadly weapon for her to enact bloody vengeance on the club's members. So if you're looking for a real workout from hell, enter Death Spa, a new experience in terror.
Movie fell into a vat of Saved by the Bell.
It's, sexy?
What's Ken Forey wearing?
He's wearing a rainbow.
Wow!
Hi. Well, how many reps can you do?
15 or 20, more if I'm showing off.
Well, why don't you show off for me?
I never waste effort in the gym. Besides, I'm Beta, you're VHS.
What?
It was a very timely line in 1987.
gonna smash his head. I hope it smashes his head.
Take your dead hands off it.
The ghost can possess other things.
Are his hands? Oh, I guess they're
They're
strapped
pulling
in.
it back. Oh my god! Oh, gross.
What's coming out of him?
His ribs?
I think that was supposed to be his
That's
ribs.
supposed to be his ribs. No!
What just happened?
What? His face just had a thing come out of it.
But what?
I don't know.
Propped open.
Why?
It just kind of, his face just kind of exploded.
Our third entry, our final entry, our sci-fi entry, Space Mutiny. Breathtaking special effects from the team that brought you Star Wars. It's Cap, so it's got to be louder.
Is that actually the Battlestar Galactica? The 70s one?
It might be.
It is!
Is it?
That's totally the Cylon ship.
Oh, we're in for a good time.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Starring Reb Brown, Uncommon Valor, James Ryan, Rage to Kill, John Philip Law, Barbarella, and Cameron Mitchell. My favorite year, our favorite actor.
Get a fucking super trace!
All right, the enormous Southern Sun spacecraft faces destruction from within when the evil Calgan, John Philip Law, Barbarella, and his men take control through a violent and explosive mutiny. Calgan's plan: scrap the ship and sell the passengers into slavery. Only one man, Reb Brown, has the strength and courage to lead the fight against Calgan's rebels. Armed with laser cannons and neutron grenades, he leads the commander's daughter and a handful of soldiers into a blasting battle against Calgan and his powerful forces.
Okay.
It's pretty bog standard sci-fi kind of deal.
Yeah.
You know,
Reb Brown's all right, but
yeah.
Cameron fucking Mitchell.
Cameron Mitchell.
Cameron, close the fucking door, Mitchell.
Will you close the fucking doors?
Beautiful. Let's do this.
All right, let's find out who is the best of the genre.
What the hell's going on out there?
Look out, Red 3. Red 3 is down.
Damn it.
Oh, look at her jazzercise. No. What?
Mom.
You're embarrassing us.
Mom, stop trying to act like a teenager.
Look, she's exercising and fighting against her osteoporosis. Oh. Oh. Oh, ow. Ow, that's, yeah.
That's what he said after that tape. So, ow, guys, I really fell.
The lettering was all messed up. Yeah.
Take this, you big bitch.
You big bitch?
I think so.
There's any chance we'll make it.
Gary Marshall actually sued me.
Yeah. Break it. So this was our very first foray into genres, different genres.
I was gonna say we have done genres before.
Different genres, opposing genres. Normally we do 3 horror movies, 3 science fiction movies, and this time it's the very first edition of Battle of the Genres, where we took an action film, a horror film, and a science fiction film, and pitted them up against each other. What is the worst of the worst?
Is that even fair to do?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is just because we're less concerned with genre than quality level. And in that case, they've matched up fairly well.
Yeah, for the most part, these movies, the genre is merely a label on top of generally bad. But if we change our rule system and apply the things that go with the genres to what these movies are, you know, like science fiction, horror, how successful was Death Spa at being a horror film? Not at all. How successful was Space Mutiny at being a science fiction film? Not at all.
So is it
exactly
like the movie that is the most successful at accomplishing what is expected of that genre is the loser?
I don't know. We're making this up as we go.
No, that's the winner.
Okay.
That's the winner.
Well, our first film of the evening was called High Voltage, starring Antonio Sabato Jr.
Antonio Sabato Jr.?
Yes. Every woman loves Antonio Sabato Jr. He's so sexy.
Who posed holding a gun for the cover. This was not photoshopped.
No, it's not a headshot and a different hand and a cartoon gun.
It was not his headshot, yeah, and a cartoon gun and a completely different hand. It's like Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
And then there's some lady trying to have a bowel movement on the cover. From the quality company that brought us such films as Elves and RoboChick, Apex Entertainment.
Well, they're 1 for 3 now.
Oh, come on. I'd put him at least 1.5.
Mess with the Asian mafia and you've got big trouble. Rich, High Voltage. Tell us all about it.
High Voltage is basically just a John Woo fan film. That's how it feels. I mean, the story is completely irrelevant. It's an excuse to have 3 or 4 action stunt set pieces where people flip around and shoot guns, and it looks like just some kind of amateur who really loved John Woo wanted to try and imitate that, and kind of did a half decent job of it. He did all right. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
they certainly jumped and shot guns at the same time. I can't fault them for not doing that.
the very basic plot is some people want to, like a group of thieves want to rob a bank, make a big score, and that's their last score, and then they run across the Asian mafia and get the Asian mafia angry at them, and then they have to fight.
Stand off.
Oh
Really?
My God.
That's like a naked gun, like another arm comes up. Doesn't belong to anybody.
Well, it's basically, yeah, they try and rob this bank. They're unsuccessful because it turns out that the bank is a front for the Asian mafia. It's a fake bank. It's a fank.
But you forgot, Jay, it starts off in the pool hall.
Oh yeah, that's a running motif throughout the movie is they just didn't have sets. So they just had black backgrounds. They live in an empty void. There's a church that's just an empty void.
Listen, if you're talking about lack of sets and making the best with what you have, they did an artful job at creating sets as opposed to a certain film.
Yes, we'll get to that, I
most
guess.
recently.
I'm sorry the information is so scanty, but I'll send you up more as I get it.
The point being, this is a direct-to-video action movie, and everything is boring except for the action scenes, which are fun.
Yeah, they were surprisingly well done. There are some stunts that are very impressive. There's one particular stunt where a guy's jumping out of a window and kind of falls onto a box from like his almost elbow up, and it looks like it really
It's not even
hurts.
out of a window, it's off a fucking roof.
That was really good.
That poor stuntman. Yeah, that looks like it hurt.
No, he got paid.
Maybe that was an accident.
For this movie.
Yeah.
Thank goodness they repeated it at the end of the film so we could see it again. Because that's the only part of it we were
Look,
really
if
excited
I
about.
made this movie, I would have used that shot 20 times.
It's clear that those guys, those are stunt people, and they knew what they were doing. But then whenever it's Antonio Sabato Jr., he looks okay jumping through the air and shooting, because that's just jumping through the air and shooting. But whenever they try to get him to do something cool, it looks so awkward. Like there's a part when he is pushing himself across the floor of the bank, and he's just awkwardly like, eh. Yeah. And then he shoots a pipe that's held together with duct tape that shoots out steam for some reason.
Once we realized that it was a fake, I was very ready to accept any sort of shoddy workmanship in there. You know, you're looking at the safe and it's like plaster and it barely exists and just like...
Yeah, he bumps up against a wall at one point, it wobbles,
yeah.
And you're like, okay, in the context of what's going on, I guess this is acceptable.
I'm comfortable with it.
It's a fake.
Yeah.
What do you mean this is it?
Those scenes there were nicely done for what they were. The stunts were good. It was a little uncreative in terms of, you know, it was a very John Woo ripoff, but...
Oh no!
That's the best of the worst. Yeah, great action scenes and great sound. Really great sound effects. Even though that seemed to be an emerging theme.
I don't know
about the films that we were watching. Was that we recognized a lot of what sounded like Lucasfilm sound effects. The really deep Indiana Jones gun sound, the same punch sound effects. Those are the Indiana Jones punching sound effects.
Yeah.
Antonio Sabato Jr.'s guns, like amazing sounds. And that really hit home the action for me.
But when you hear
really the sound, if we're gonna talk about the sound, it's and the action too. It's it was really good. The plot not so much, but
yeah, that's sort of weird. So at some point they go to the meetup place, which is run a hotel / bridal shop
/ gym
/ gym run by Antonio Sabato Sr. And he has these mannequins of a bride and groom in the middle of his lobby for some reason. But then later it is revealed that the mannequins are actually people in disguise.
I think they've been replaced at some point.
Well,
When we first see them, they weren't people.
Yeah, Amy Smart, who coincidentally later went on to be in the film Crank 2 High Voltage. She does not fuck someone on a horse track in this movie either, unfortunately. But she is engaged to one of the other bank robbers. He gets shot and killed. She's very upset about this. And
should we call them fank robbers?
Fank robbers, yeah. So she's engaged to one of the other fank robbers who gets shot and killed, and we have an awkward scene where they bury him in the desert, and we weren't sure if it was supposed to be comedic or not.
Well, that's right before they have her marry his corpse in the church.
That's right. They drag his corpse to the church.
They take a priest by gunpoint, and they have him perform a marriage for this grieving almost widow.
Yes.
And one of the other bank robbers is very rude about the whole thing. Like, yeah, get it over with. Yeah, he says I do. It's fine.
Jesus Christ, would you kiss the groom already?
Oh.
What am I supposed to be feeling here?
They could have taken him to a hospital in the time it took to find.
They probably could have saved his life if they didn't want to get married at that exact moment.
Although that guy was kind of a pussy though. He died from just a gunshot to the shoulder. So what kind of husband would he have been? So to clarify, the final shootout takes place at the Sunrise Hotel in Yuma, which is owned by Antonio Sabato Jr.'s dad, who is not his dad in the movie, but it is his dad in real life. Yes. And he owns this hotel, which is under renovation, which has a mannequin bride and groom, which also has a punching bag, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the bank robbers, or rather the fank robbers, go to the Sunrise Hotel, and they're followed by the character which we have not talked about, Bulldog and Tammy.
Here comes
Oh, Bulldog.
Hey, Johnny.
And then they are then followed by the Yakuza gang.
The Asian Mafia.
The Asian Mafia.
I'm sorry, the Asian Mafia, which is headed up by a man who chokes people with his scarves.
Can we call them the fake Koozas?
Fake Koozas? That's
The Fakuzas versus the bank robbers at the end of the film, yeah.
Yeah, and so they all meet up at a hotel that's under construction or renovation for a big action shootout. And then I guess this whole topic started when we wanted to mention the bride and groom mannequins, which I think were there for artistic reasons so that the one Amy Smart character could be sad about.
Even though it made no logical sense why they would be there. And whose side were they on? Were they with Antonio Sabato Sr.?
Yes. That was part of the triple cross.
That was part of the double triple cross, which turned out to be a reverse double cross.
Yes.
We're led to believe that the one guy, he made a phone call to Yakuza leader, and told him to meet him there, and blah, 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 and it turned out it was a double, triple cross.
Wouldn't it saved everybody a lot of trouble if he just didn't do the fake double cross to begin with, and just didn't call them, and then they wouldn't know where they were, and they would just have the money?
They really could have just waited with guns, and then when the Yakuza walked in, just started shooting them.
Sure.
That's what they did.
Or they were allies with...
Well, they did that, but they had the phony setup.
But the only reason they knew the Yakuza knew where they were was because of Double Cross Guy, right?
Our next film is called Death Spa.
But they had to do that because they had to kill the dragon.
Oh, so they're doing that just to lead them there.
Yeah, just to end it.
Okay.
But they knew the dragon's girl was on their side at that point, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't she just tell
Our next
them where
film
he
is called
lives?
Death Spa.
You're not pointing at anybody.
Our next film in the great genre battle is called Death Spa. And I knew nothing of this film before I saw it, and I know nothing of this film after I've seen it. Jay found this somewhere, I don't know. And I don't know, who did the artwork for this cover?
I don't know if that was the original cover
No,
art.
it's not.
Or
It's
a
not.
recent commission, but
It's fantastic.
It's great, yeah.
But anyway, this movie ended up on Blu-ray somehow. Who re-released this?
Oh, this is a company called Gorgon Video, which was an 80s video company. Someone bought the name, and now they're releasing shit like this on Blu-ray under the old Gorgon Video label.
Well, Jay, tell us all about Death Spa.
Death Spa is a movie about a woman that is dead who possesses the computer in a high-tech, fancy spa and kills people sometimes related to the computer elements of the spa.
It wasn't really the ghost taking control, it was the ghost possessing David from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Oh boy.
So yeah, the owner of this spa, his wife died, and now she is possessing her brother and convincing him to kill people in this spa.
So that her husband can kill himself so they could live forever in hell.
Something like that.
I want you with me. Killing yourself isn't so hard, really. And besides, you'll be saving all your friends.
And instead of having the brother kill the husband, she kills
random people for
innocent patrons
no
at a spa.
discernible reason.
Now what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
About time. Ah, jeez. Well, that doesn't make sense at all.
That's not
It's not plugged into anything.
It's a ghost blender.
Oh, that Frappuccino is hand flavor.
Why does she kill random people at the dust spa?
I don't know.
Maybe she was just trying to make him depressed. Maybe he had like all of his money invested in the spa.
Okay.
And if the spa fails, maybe she was hoping he would just decide to kill himself.
He
on
just
his own.
says, "This was my life savings."
Couldn't
I
she have
invested in
like
this
messed
place."
with the finances instead? And
As long as you got access to the computer.
Yeah,
Just
she's
punch
got-
the
yeah.
numbers in the computer.
just drain the bank account through the computer. Yeah.
Well, the first person she tries to kill is the soon-to-be new wife.
Yeah.
So I think there's a jealousy element.
Yeah.
To that first one, sure, yeah. So she's in the sauna, and then the sauna starts filling up with what was it?
The chlorine
The chlorine. They added extra chlorine.
into it came out in a vapor form.
She gets burnt badly, and for most of the rest of the movie, she has these comical bandages over her eyes, which turns out to be completely pointless.
Well, is she his
What? Is she gonna fall off the edge of that thing she's sitting on? She can't see.
Oh my god!
Is that you, Roger? You haven't said a word all night.
Your spa horribly burned me.
This is very phallic.
Oh, man.
There is one reason she has the bandages on. It's so she can open her locker when she's blind at the gym and she doesn't see the corpse that's sitting in her locker. She just nonchalantly grabs her stuff while there's a corpse just kind of like...
But even that corpse being there is pointless because it's never found
I know.
later in the movie.
It was just for that scene, so she could not see the corpse. I think they thought it would be creepy and not funny.
So his ghost wife. Okay, let me get this straight because this is going to be confusing. It's confusing to us, and we've watched the movie. It's going to be much more confusing to people who haven't seen it.
This is true.
Michael, who owns the spa, co-owns the spa with the woman.
No, he owns it.
He owns it. She's the manager.
She's the manager. Okay. Yeah. He had a wife, and she had a miscarriage of twins, and either I don't know if it was the result of the miscarriage that she had a spinal problem.
It was. They said it was.
Okay, and which caused her to be wheelchair bound, to be crippled, which made her depressed, which made him depressed, which he may or may not have gone outside of the marriage to cheat on her with the woman.
He maintains that he did not.
He maintains that he did not. So does she. Yes. But the wife does not, or someone.
She thinks that there's something going on.
So she wheels herself out in a wheelchair to the desert, douses herself with gasoline, starts herself on fire, and then mid-fire becomes cured of her cripple problem. And stands up and says, "Oh fuck, I wasn't crippled." And then
I made a terrible mistake.
And then her twin brother, who is coincidentally named, his character is named David, which is David Marcus from Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Yes.
He's in the film, and he becomes a Norman Bates type who is obsessed with his sister or becomes possessed with his sister.
Oh, please. Please, no. No.
And he keeps her burnt up wheelchair in his apartment.
Yeah.
And her underwear.
And her underwear. So there's so many layers of bizarre things happening in this movie. It's almost impossible to explain.
The most bizarre thing, though, is that Ken Foree is in the movie dressed as a clown.
That looks like Bozo the Clown's outfit.
So then the manager of the spa and the lawyer of Michael, who owns the spa, those two are collaborating together to try and take control of the spa.
I think
they're trying to cause accidents so that Michael looks incompetent and loses control of the spa.
Yeah.
So they're coincidentally doing these things at the exact same time that the ghost is trying to kill people.
Mm-hmm.
And then Michael hires a paranormal investigator played by Jim Henson, who shows up with a light-up dildo to hunt for ghosts.
Yes.
And then gets thrown down a conveyor belt and finds a body, well, before that, he finds a body that's melted and still alive because there was a girl who went down to the basement because the ghost told her to, pretending to be Michael.
Give her a note.
The ghost gave her a handwritten note.
The ghost wrote a note. We're assuming that David, her brother, was possessed, and he wrote the love note for the girl to come down in the basement, and then gas poured on her face and melted her skin. Yeah. But she was still alive.
But she was still alive. Her heart was beating, even though she was just a skeleton and some goo.
And then Jim Henson got thrown into the ceiling, and I think he died.
And then his hand exploded.
Did she just make his hand explode?
She did.
He always carries a gun?
Oh!
Hey, it works.
This has something in common with Ninja 3: The Domination, which is that whenever you mix aerobics with the supernatural, it just leads to disaster.
It leads to gelled lights and smoke machines.
Yeah. But so it has these, I think for a low-budget horror movie, it looks fine. But the gore effects, whenever those happen, they're so incompetently shot that I wasn't even sure what was supposed to be going on. His hand explodes. Later, they're in a sauna, and a guy's head, something bursts through his head, and we have no idea what happened there.
Because you can clearly tell, and the thing is, on the back of it, it's Blu-ray, and it says new 2K, not 4K, 2K, high resolution, transfer from the original uncut and uncensored camera negative.
They don't want to pay for the 4K.
They don't. They don't want to pay for the 4K, and it's clearly not from the negative because anytime there's any sort of gore shot, the grain pops way up, and it's like, okay, so you took this from a 16mm print. There are scratches all over it. There are going to be fucking scratches on the negative.
Yeah.
So lies, 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 but whatever. Overall, it doesn't look clumsy. It looks like a pretty well-made movie in and of itself. But then when it gets to the effects shots, when it gets to the gore shots, it's just something happened.
Yeah.
Except for the gigantic boom mic sticking out from behind the door.
Those messages on my computer?
It popped out like comically.
Yeah, they established that this is a state-of-the-art facility. It uses computers to do all these different things and all these exercise equipment. It runs off of the computer. But then half of the things that the ghost does has nothing to do with the computer. It unscrews a bolt.
Yeah.
It
knocks a diving board off.
It knocks the diving board off.
It blows tiles off of the sides of the shower.
Yeah, through tubes that are clearly behind the wall.
The best effect was it made the mirror vibrate and then explode the person that was looking at the mirror.
Yeah, none of this has anything to do with the computer.
Whoa.
What?
The mirror exploded.
The mirror shattered and make her explode?
And made her explode?
Yeah.
The ghost is controlling the computer, which is controlling the exercise equipment.
Yeah.
Got it. But when the ghost is making somebody's hand explode or making dead fish talk, that's where it goes off the rails for me.
Fish are alive somehow, and
What the fuck?
Yes.
yeah, what the fuck?
What
Exactly.
the fuck?
Oh no, it's a paper mache fish.
What the fuck's pretty accurate.
Oh come on, you can kill a fish.
Maybe if she were like a computer scientist ghost, it would have made more sense.
No, this was her brother.
You
It was her
know?
twin brother. Yeah.
She spent years working on this computer system. Nope. And now it's acting haywire after she's dead. That would have made sense.
That would have made sense.
Yeah, that would have. Yeah.
We should write screenplays, Rich, because just the mild amount of effort
Any-
you would put in would make more sense.
Any of the movies we watched tonight, a 5-year-old could have made a more cohesive script.
Yes.
Any of these movies.
You can't blame the computer for tiles flying off shower walls. The computer doesn't control tiles, for Christ's sake.
Well, despite how many people keep getting killed in this death spa, they keep talking about this Mardi Gras party that they want to have.
Very Jaws.
Yeah, we can't stop the party.
Right.
Even though this has far less stakes involved than the Jaws summer, it's their summer season in that little town. But they have to have this Mardi Gras party despite the fact that everybody keeps getting killed violently.
There
Say
is no
membership
stop.
goes up 10% every year.
It's no good if those 10% die.
Yeah. If your spa gets the reputation that everybody keeps dying, then no one's going to keep coming back to your spa.
The logic of the movie's plot. I mean, first of all, whoever had the idea of having a haunted spa is stupid.
No way. That premise is great.
No. On top of that, you add in a computerized haunted spa.
That's where things get weird. Yeah.
That kind of, that was like Gremlins 2 when they had the super computerized building where everything, and it's like a spa or a workout gym. That's the least computerized thing in the world.
Right.
Weights and equipment, like you don't need a command center to operate a spa.
It should have been the brother trying to make the husband think as if it was his wife's ghost as like an act of revenge.
Yeah.
Because he thought he was cheating on the wife.
Yes.
That's what it should have been.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
So Michael rescues his good lady friend, and then they go to outside the computer room, and he grabs like his shoe, and he's using it to like make sure that he's shielded from the power, and then he's got this power source.
He's
that
putting two
jamming.
wires together, which for some reason makes everything like explode.
It makes the computer explode at her.
Yes.
Because she's shown like with smoke everywhere, and lightning
She
bolts.
starts on fire.
Because that's how you kill ghosts with electricity, right?
Go. So then they escape, and then they cut back to the wife who's still alive, and she said, "I'm still alive," and then her eye explodes, and then the credits roll.
No.
Okay, there.
Now credits.
Now it's over. So her eye exploded.
And that's the end.
That's the end of the film.
Yeah.
Our final film of the evening is called Space Mutiny, which ironically continues with our theme of two men holding guns who are not holding guns.
And Lucasfilm sound effects.
And Lucasfilm sound effects. This one stars Reb Brown and some other people.
Cameron Mitchell.
And Cameron
This
Mitchell.
is the deciding factor in why we chose this for our sci-fi film.
Yeah.
We had a stack of science fiction films, but this is the only one that had Cameron Mitchell in it.
Yeah, very clearly the sci-fi genre. Josh, tell us all about Space Mutiny.
Well, yeah, Reb Brown and Cameron Mitchell star in about 30 minutes worth of scenes that are then randomized and repeated in order to create an illusion of an actual full movie.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
And they're intercut with spaceships from Battlestar Galactica.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stock footage. Okay, no, for real though.
No, that pretty much sums it up.
Don't say for real. Don't you dare say for real, because that is Space Mutiny to a T.
That is for real.
There's a factory.
To be fair.
And there's some paper mache.
To be fair.
And then there's a golf cart.
Yeah, no, for real, they shot about 45 minutes worth of footage. They didn't repeat all of it.
Well, what is the plot of Space Mutiny?
I don't know.
I wasn't asking you.
All right, so there is a giant spaceship colony in space for some reason, and they have a commander guy who's Cameron Mitchell. He's like the boss god of the whole thing. And then there's a flight commander played by John Philip Law, who is General Calgon. General Calgon wants to be on a planet. He's never been on a planet in his life, so he leads a mutiny in order to make that happen. But unfortunately, Reb Brown has appeared on the spaceship, and he is a fighter for good and things. So he is crowned new flight commander, and he and his cohorts eventually defeat Calgon, kind of.
And he lost his sleeves, and he fell in love with an old woman.
Also, there are some Stevie Nicks-looking ladies. I'm still not real clear what they were doing. From top to bottom, I
They're
have
the
no
Dance
idea.
of Birth ladies.
Why were they there?
They were there to oxygenate their womb space.
They're there for flavor. This is an era. No, I mean, this is an era where science fiction had...
You said that so blunt and weird. They're there for flavor.
What do you mean by flavor?
For seasoning. They're trying to emulate... Science fiction at that time had a lot of spiritual elements. Star Wars introduced the Force. And then from there, like the actual Battlestar Galactica, that had like a Christian theme running through it. And there was mystical elements coming into 80s science fiction.
Okay.
And so they thought they needed something mystical.
They didn't.
Oh! You just had an orgasm?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Oh, thanks.
Oh.
Shake hands.
Oh, this is getting weird.
I have shared with you the way to truth. Now you must use what you have learned.
Don't get handsy there, Cameron.
Okay, they're supposed to be in control of certain characters within the film, which you might have missed that.
I guess.
Like when upside down putter guy from the engine room, when he gets burned to death by our heroes for no reason.
He lights methane gas on fire and
Yeah.
burns him in a concrete pit.
Yeah, and I really don't know why that happens other than another chance to get somebody in a burn suit. When they burn him to death and he falls down, then the lead Stevie Nicks lady falls down at the same time, but then she just gets back up and like, oh, didn't do that right or something. I don't know. They're supposed to be connected but nothing ever comes out of it.
Who's supposed to be connected? What are you talking about?
The Valerians are supposed to be connected to certain characters.
Those are the ladies, the gypsy women?
The Stevie Nicks ladies, yeah.
Stevie Nicks ladies, okay.
The Dance of Birth ladies.
Yeah. My belt's on fire!
There are multiple people set on fire in this movie.
Yes.
And that is a positive.
Out of my way, you idiot!
Everybody that falls off a balcony isn't a dummy.
Well, okay, so General Calgon leads a revolt, a space mutiny, although they never say space mutiny. We wish they did. It's a space mutiny. Really, they made this movie because they had access to a factory.
It is one of the cheapest looking fucking movies I think we've ever watched on this show.
Cheaper looking than Yor.
It's cheaper looking than Yor. Yeah.
Cheaper looking than Death Spa, for fuck's sake.
I'm curious what the budget for this is in comparison to something like Robot Jocks, which is right around the same period. And there's some cheap effects in that movie. There's some cheap props, but this is
that
like,
car.
yeah, this is like there's like a phone just glued to a wall, and there's black construction paper around
Keyboards
it.
glued to black construction paper.
Yeah, there's just keyboards. There's just computer keyboards.
And they did save a lot of money on fantastic outer space ship effects that they purchased from somewhere else.
What did they call it? The Sunrise Express?
The Southern Sun.
The Southern Sun is Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, blatantly.
Blatantly.
The sound effects are the Battlestar sound effects. The gun shoots, the shooting, that's all recycled.
Yeah.
The look of things too, like Cameron Mitchell. He looks like the head guy from Battlestar.
He does look like Hungry.
Oh, really?
The whole thing feels like a 70s Battlestar fan film. I think Battlestar is just obscure enough they think they can get away with it. Like if they recycled Star Wars special effects, everybody would say that's fucking Star Wars.
But they had to get the rights to use that footage. There's no way they just blatantly stole footage from it.
I could agree with you on that, Rich, if they didn't specifically say on the back of the box from the team that brought you Star Wars. So it's obviously, they're pointing out the origin of it is from these people that made it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking less that it was stolen and more that it was made to be cheaply licensed. I would be surprised if less than half an hour of this movie is absolutely, completely repeated footage.
Well, you're forgetting the most important repeated thing was the fact that the bridge commander woman was killed, and then in the next scene, I mean, not necessarily reused footage. I guess this goes more along the lines of confused editor.
Yes.
Who's just going, what? She appears in the next scene right after she's murdered.
Yes.
Right there.
It's the very next scene.
You were speaking with third engineer Steve Cadell,
That is my business.
but now I'm making it mine.
There they go.
And there she is back on the bridge.
What?
Yeah, she died.
What? Did they forget it?
Yeah.
Or was it a different?
What?
It's an old.
Maybe it
it's
was
a-
a different.
We have to check. We have to check.
They're good at recycling sets too. We noticed at a couple times the bridge set was redressed as this sort of storage area. Obviously, the same spots in the factory are reused, 100 times.
Yeah. Well, the ship has two distinct areas. There's the cardboard gray rooms with old IBM computers. And then there's some old industrial factory where you can clearly see the windows in daylight.
Yes, yeah. They're supposed to be in outer space, but there's the windows and there's light shining through.
It is midday.
There's the sun!
Yeah. It's midday every time they go down there.
Yeah, they really should have shot those scenes at night.
Oh no, Devo!
Yeah, I just fell off the bumper car. We're only going 5 miles an hour. It's fine.
You can catch up.
If you run really fast, you can beat us there.
They're riding around in what essentially looks like the Captain Christopher Pike wheelchair from the original series of Star Trek, which probably goes just about as fast. And I can just imagine the screenwriter imagining this, like, these
awesome chase sequence.
Like he saw Star Wars, what is this, 87?
Yeah.
He saw the speeder bike chase in Jedi and was thinking something like down this engine room and really like, we got these go-karts, they go 5 miles an hour.
She did outrun him.
And then Reb Brown's in there, and does he have the plastic helmet on?
Yes.
That's on the cover?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Ah!" And he jumps out, and then just like...
My favorite part about that scene, by the way, is that he yells, "Ah!" pauses, and then gets out.
Oh my God. Wow.
The biggest letdown of the movie by far, though, was Cameron Mitchell.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
The whole reason we watched the movie.
I was all excited. I mean, oh my God, another Cameron Mitchell film. I mean, he's been fucking gold every other time we've seen him. Yeah. He fucking killed in Deadly Prey.
27 years in the filth and the dirt of the street. There ain't no music down there. You watch the people in the streets killing, raping each other, pumping dope through their veins, while big men like you sit in the fancy penthouses. Die, you son of a bitch.
He was even fucking better in Terror from Beverly Hills.
The President of the United States is negotiating, as I speak, with the Prime Minister of Israel. The damned airplanes.
And then he's in space.
It's the role. He's playing the
sure.
wise,
It's what was
majestic
written.
leader.
He had nothing to work with,
He wasn't playing a drunken cop.
No. Although I'm fairly sure he took the role just so he wouldn't have to wear pants the whole movie, because he's got a robe.
Good luck.
It's the most boring Cameron Mitchell's ever been.
It's not his fault. He just wanted to wear a robe.
Watch out, Cameron! Watch out!
Well, it's the time of the night when we pick the best of the worst, and this is a special edition of Best of the Worst, genre battle.
Yes.
And the rules are slightly different, where we're going to pick the best of the worst genre.
So which one represents its genre the best?
Rich, we'll start with you.
If we're going on which one represents the genre the best, it's High Voltage. It's the perfect representation of an action movie, a dumb action movie. The most entertaining would be Death Spa. I mean, that had the best laughs, but I wouldn't call it a horror movie because horror movies have to be frightening and scary, have a creepy tone. And yeah, and Space Mutiny is the one I want to throw into a dumpster.
I have to agree almost completely with Rich. As an action movie, this is really good. The fight choreography in that I thought was really good. The sound effect.
I thought the execution of a lot of it was sort of awkward because of the low budget.
There's
good stuff.
Are you talking? This isn't a discussion part. Yeah. Why don't you just shut the fuck up?
I understand that you think High Voltage is the greatest film ever made.
I don't think it's the greatest film ever made, but for an Apex film, the company that brought us Elves, I was shocked. Ironically, High Voltage.
No.
I was shocked at how good the action scenes were, and the Foley too, and the sound effects.
Now, I want to give some higher points to Death Spa in a particular respect, because I was regarding it less as a horror movie and more as an excuse for gore effects. And in that, it didn't do a whole lot better, but a tiny bit better. It's not scary, but it's not, that's not, I don't think that was the goal in being made. It's not a fucking discussion, shut up. Tables are turned. This is a terrible fucking movie, I'm with you in all respects. Action movie, no. Fucking sci-fi movie, no. Dumb movie, yes. 100 points, dumb movie. But the action scenes in High Voltage, again, fantastic. So yes, I'm with you guys. High Voltage is our winner in terms of genre.
See, this is heartbreaking to me because if this was a regular episode, Death Spa would win in spades.
No question.
Oh, yeah.
But the problem is, you mentioned as a excuse for special effects and gore effects, that's where it fails the most because half the time you don't know what's going on. But if we're going with genres, High Voltage is the winner. Because of what everybody else has said. The action in the movie is great. It's a shame there's so many dull spots in between the action. You know where it fails though is in the final like action movie one-liner. Like you think of like Commando, like blow off some steam. Here he just goes, "I'll see you in hell." No, because you'll go to hell before I do.
Take that, Zepka.
What a pity. Greed will always kill you. Go to hell, Johnny. No, pal. You're the one who's going to hell.
That's the catchphrase?
We were waiting for something amazing.
Yeah.
Best of the genre, best of the worst.
Yes, I would agree with that.
But on this particular episode,
Yes.
best of the worst. Special commendation.
Special recommendation to Death Spa because it's so fucking weird and stupid.
And I think we all love Death Spa enough to not destroy it, of course.
Oh, God, no.
It needs to be cherished and treasured forever. Do We want Space Mutiny destroyed. Can we destroy a film that stars both Reb Brown and Cameron Mitchell? Is it possible?
Yes, we can.
The thing is, fuck Reb Brown. Cameron Mitchell, they wasted Cameron Mitchell.
Yeah.
Let's kill this thing.
Surf's up.